So much was made coming into this season about the new offensive line, 5 new starters. You've had a few days, you've looked at the film to analyze what you did against Baylor. Overall, what were your thoughts of the way you guys performed in Waco?
We did a pretty good job. I mean, there's obviously things we need to get better on. We had a few mental breakdowns, but we did better than most people expect we would. And we owe a lot of that to Garrett for getting the ball out, not taking any sacks. So, I mean, we feel pretty good about it. Just got to keep getting better every week.
Offensive line is usually one of those positions where they don't get talked about a lot unless a mistake happens. But you guys didn't give up a sack, no penalties, no procedure, no holding, no offsides. Which are you most proud of in terms of accomplishments like that in your first game together as a unit?
I think the sack still, because, I mean, we want to keep the guys off of Garrett. I mean, he did get hit a couple times, but he did get the ball out. I mean, penalties, and you can always control that. You just got to be mentally tough and know what you're doing every time. So I mean, the sacks, not giving up any sacks, is most important.
When you and the other linemen were in meetings or in watching film with Coach Palcic, were you more pleased with pass protection or run blocking? Because you averaged about 5 yards a carry as well. You did a fairly good job on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, I know I missed a few blocks in my pooling on the run game. I definitely need to get better at that. But I think pass protection we're probably a little better on that. And I mean, they only had a 3-man rush most of the game, sometimes 4 or 5, but it was pretty easy for the pass protection.
For all the talk about the new faces on the line, 4 of you are juniors and seniors. But the guy who's making all the calls and reading what the defense is bringing up to the line of scrimmage is a redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
What did you think of Taylor Lasecki and not only the way he blocked, but the way he made the calls and the way he sort of quarterbacked that line for you?
He did pretty good. There's a couple times where he could have made a better call to help us with the protection. There's one time he didn't make a call at all, but he was throwing up on the football. So he was having a rough time, but I'll let him slide on that. But he did a pretty good job for his first start, and I feel he's pretty poised in there.
Stephen F. Austin comes to town this weekend, and Coach Jones and some of the other coaches have talked several times this week about how good their defensive line is. From what you've seen on film studying them, what's impressive about their defensive line, and what are the big challenges they present for you and the other guys up front?
The ends are very quick. They have I think he's like 6'6" guy, number 5. Very athletic. He's called the sack master, I guess. We got to watch out for him. And even their inside guys, they're a little undersized, but they're quick also. They use their hands very well. So they're a very good line coming in.
Do they do a lot of twists and stunts and that kind of thing?
They do a lot
or do they
of
basically
slanting
go one-on-one?
and pinching, a lot of stunts. So, I mean, they try to get you off your game like that. I haven't really seen too many blitzes, but they definitely slant across the face a lot.
So is your key as an offensive line to force their outside guys away, or are you more worried about them coming up the middle? What's your biggest concern with them?
I think our biggest concern is we'll have 3 guys on the inside. We'll always have 1 guy watching the outside if it's a running back or a uncovered guard to help out our tackles if they do get in trouble.
You hear so many coaches and players talk about how a lot of times the biggest improvement a team makes during a season is between game 1 and game 2. You finally have everything on film, you can look at it and evaluate. What's the biggest thing you want to improve between Baylor and Saturday's game with Stephen F.?
Biggest thing I want to improve, I want to be more secure on my pass blocks, not have to get help from anyone. And like I said, I missed a couple blocks in my pulling, so I need to keep my head up and get my hands on the guys. And also getting to the second level on the linebackers when I draw plays. I mean, I'm making contact with them. I'm not grabbing and they're making the play, falling off.
As an overall line, though, is there something scheme-wise or technique-wise that you think needs to be cleaned up the most between now and Saturday?
Not really. I mean, just our scheme's fine. We just got to execute our calls that we make, and everything will fold.